Right. Good morning. It's at Love Clark again. Excuse my nasal problem. I'm starting to get a like a seasonal allergy or something. And what I'm doing is wanted to talk about. Excuse me. I want to talk about this Messiah complex that's being bestowed upon Donald Trump. And I want to comment on something that my friend Shindo is mentioning, that this rabbi is saying that Trump is an American Messiah. Now, when people think of it that way, you got to think of these words too and understand them. Messiah just means champion or hero. It means savior. There's more than, in the language what people don't understand, there's been more than one Messiah. Joshua was a Messiah, in the Old Testament. Characters in the Old Testament were Messiahs. There's been different Messiahs. But there's only one Messiah, what you're talking about is Yeshua, the living Word, okay? That came through, or it's in the flesh, okay? Now, there's only one of those. Okay, there's only going to be one of those, but the word Messiah could be applicable to anyone, including Trump. But you got to remember with the messianic figures and messiahs, a lot of times comes a lot of these messiahs. Basically sacrificed, So, gotta remember that aspect of it. They're sacrificed a lot of times. And then this Antichrist idea, every president's the Antichrist. Bush was the Antichrist. And people are right, The problem is, the Christians have gone off in the bizarro world. If you ever watch, little animated Superman cartoons or something, it's the bizarro world. Everything's backwards. But this rabbi saying that he's American Messiah, it's disturbing sounding to some people. Now, I'm not in a position to support Trump or Hillary. I want people to look at the third option, okay, which is Gary Johnson, but his numbers aren't high enough or whatnot to get up on their poll list and be in the debates or whatnot. So, anyway, the point is, this Messiah figures, and then Antichrist and all these things. First of all, for him talking about like a savior of the Esau, okay. Let's look at the facts that the Jews are putting out. What they're saying, okay. According to the Jewish Encyclopedia, first of all, the Jews who are claiming to be Judah, Israel, are not really Jews. They're in fact Edom, Esau, Edomites. They claim this, and they say it right in the Jewish Encyclopedia. Look it up, who they really are. They know they're not Judah. So, first of all, that rabbi, if he's Jew, claiming to be Judah, he's probably himself Esau. So what people don't understand is this word Esau and Edom and how it applies to people and how it really applies with Christian identity and the fact that they manipulate Christian identity also. So right in the Jewish Encyclopedia, they admit they are not really Judah. They are not the real Jewish people. They are Edom, Esau. Okay? So, you gotta get that straight. People don't want to admit that. Well, why is it in their encyclopedia if it wasn't true? You got to figure out who the real Judah is. I'm not going to tell you because, you got to do your own Christian identity work. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to identify the tribes for you, because a lot of people have different views on that. It's up to you to decide that and do your own homework on that part. But this is all just a rigged reality in the first place. If you think of it that way, it's just a cabal. They're all in on it. So whoever wins, plus whoever wins, it does have the potential for like a civil war, civil unrest going on. There's all these scenarios. He could be killed. Trump, but you're right. You're exactly right about people feigning. They're just like falling head over heels. They don't care. They're putting him up there like they're acting and chanting like he is a Messiah. Their Messiah. They're bold and they're brave, and they're so proud of it. They want to act like this. So there is this Messiah complex going on. What people don't realize is there's many antichrists also, not just one, and it's also a body of people. They're anti-God, okay? They're anti-Torah. They're anti-instruction. They're against knowledge even, because anyone that hides knowledge is against knowledge, because in the long run you cannot hide knowledge. You shouldn't hide knowledge. So those occultists are, Freemasonic occultists, all these people. We know Trump is a Mason. So, I don't understand why people could continue. And you got all these white supremacists that, they want to be, Nazis, right? But guess what? And all the support of Trump, but you can't. You don't like whenever he talks about Israel, You think that's your best choice? It's not. And it's not your only choice either. And you guys prop this guy up. It's ridiculous, because you know what? They make it out to where he's like the obvious better, candidate, more stable in the long run. Overall, and has health intact more, and says what you want to hear and is not politically correct, and that's what draws you in. Okay, that's all that draws you in. The reality is he going to do what he says he's going to do, and is it going to actually make anything different or make anything better? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Either scenario is bad, but there's a third, like I said. Check out Gary Johnson. There's not enough people that know that there's a third choice. Check it out. Just check it out. There's conspiracies along with everyone, and there's spins on everyone, and there's people saying he works for Hillary Clinton and all these things. I don't believe that. These guys are too small time and stuff like that to be working for Hillary Clinton, and plus they were Republican governors that balanced their budgets, and they want to basically they want to decriminalize marijuana because they're libertarian, and they want to make drugs not a criminal issue but a health issues, and they want to free a lot of people in prison that shouldn't be in prison, and they're true libertarians. Okay, these are your third options and better choices, and if you listen to them, but see, you only want to hear the popular people. See, and the least popular ones are probably the better ones. So when there's a conspiracy that there's a third option and you've never even heard his name, especially just today by this person here that doesn't really watch news, and I've tried to separate myself from politics. Okay, I would endorse that person over either one, and just for the simple fact that you don't know he exists. Okay, and he's been a governor, and he's balanced budgets, and he's done things, and he's right. And he doesn't back down from security, and he doesn't want to also build a wall, which is, starting to sound a little more ridiculous than it is worthwhile. When people don't want to do these certain jobs, Hispanic workers do want. There's no reason not to provide those jobs. Okay, worker visas. Make them do real background checks, not these quick in and out. No, do a real background check, investigations. Take a little more time, but let them have that security. And it's better than, and then that money goes into the Social Security. I'm telling you, check out Gary Johnson. Okay, that's all I can say. Because if you don't know there's a third option, you're really being blinded by these other two candidates, because they have so much money and special interest groups and so much drive, and because they're divided up in their big old clubs, Republican or Democrat, that gives them a prop up. But you don't even know there's a third option, and that's ridiculous and insane. So with that, remember, there is a third option, if you didn't know it. And this Messiah complex, don't let it happen, see? The other thing is, they want to fall into their own prophecy, fulfill their own prophecy. And it's just like you say, they're standing around waiting for a rapture. They don't care what's going to happen here, see? If everything goes to hell here, they don't care what goes to hell here, because they think they're going to go float up to the sky, okay? This phony rapture theory. You think you're going to float up to the sky, and so you're basically, and that's pretty crappy. You want to leave behind the people here, knowing, and leave all these problems, and like as if you don't care, you're just going to go up to the sky and disappear, so it doesn't matter. That kind of mindset leaves the people that don't believe that kind of worried to a degree, because that is getting very cultish, okay, and very sadistic if you think about it. Oh, well, we don't care what happens, so hey, let's just shoot for the stars and fall in the clouds, basically, and sacrifice because we don't care, because we're going to be caught up, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen. Well, that kind of mindset, if there's no rapture for you, guess what happens? You're making a big mistake and screwing a lot of people over. So you can't stand around and act like that. Standing around doing nothing, is that what Yehoshua said to do? Besides spread the gospel, or the good, I shouldn't say gospel because that means God's spell. Anyway, spread the news, okay, the good news of the coming kingdom. That's what he spoke of. People don't understand the message. What was his message? They all know everything about the person, and they can quote all these things, but what was his main message? What did he teach? What did he come teaching and preaching? What did he come teaching and preaching about? His main focus was the coming kingdom, the coming kingdom, the coming kingdom, the coming kingdom. He was not talking about just a spiritual kingdom. He was talking about a real physical government entity, a real government that's going to really rule with a rod of iron. And it's going to be the best government you'll ever see, because it'll be a real righteous government for the first time ever established on earth. And people see how wonderful God's government's going to be. It's going to be amazing, okay? But right now it's dark times. And people may even think this Trump is the one to take us through this dark time. And he may be. See, there's always a goat sacrifice, basically what he is. He's a fall guy in a way. Think about it. In a sad way, he's a fall guy, because Trump goes up, becomes this Messiah complex guy, Antichrist, whatnot figure, right? If that's true. And then he has to take all this on, and he's the one that has to be to blame, for a lot of stuff in the future, if that's true. But he does line up a lot more with what they traditionally have been calling the Antichrist, the one person of the Antichrist, more than Obama even. But like I said, Jewish people, go to your encyclopedia and look up who you claim to be, and you're not really even who you claim to be. You are Esau. You are Edom. And it admits it in your Jewish encyclopedia. But don't get mad at me for telling you. I didn't write it. I'm just telling you what it says. Okay? So people get mad at me for telling the truth. You're just retarded. Then anyway, so appreciate your news, and realize there is a third option. I did not even realize this till the other day. And I'm going to say his name one more time before I go. It's Gary Johnson. Okay? Check it out. First you may think, oh, no way, but actually just listen to the guy. They are way more fair and balanced, what you would call fair and balanced, and they're not catering to Republican or Democrat. That's what's perfect about them. They're ex-Republicans, but they are sensitive to social issues and social justice. At the same time, they are strong on security and all those things you love, and so libertarian is the way to go. All right? That Love Clark. Don't let either side make you divide it up. Put your money in with Johnson, I'm telling you. Because these other candidates are ridiculous. They are. It's ridiculous. It's a show. It's a show. And you don't even know there's a third candidate? That should be a crime. Alright? It's at Love Clark. Love you guys. Love.